Procross chassis is a very strong chassis. It's got a two-piece tapered tunnel design that gives you great stiffness as well as good ergos with the sidewalls being tipped in. Allows the rider to stand up, sit down, nice transition. The front bulkhead area with the lower frame design is all a boxed in, very rigid chassis that ties in with the side and overspar structure. All in all those components bolted together box the Procross chassis in and make it very durable, very rigid, and lightweight. We learned a lot of what we learned on the racetrack to help develop the Procross ProClimb Arctic Race front suspension. It's very unique compared to a lot of the other snowmobiles out there with its wide A-arms, forged aluminum spindles. Not only does it make the suspension function well, but it also helps with the chassis design. So with the wide spacing, what it does is it allows the suspension linkages and all the joints, if there's any bit of clearance, which every bushing axle has to have, having the upper and lower A-arm spaced further apart keeps a tighter suspension system overall. So that's one of the big advantages with having that upper and lower A-arm spread apart as far as we do. The slide action suspension's been around since early 2000s. It was developed on the racetrack with Russ Ebert, Kirk Hibbert. They've raced it for quite a few years in development. It's got a great geometry to it in the sense and how it functions. It's the only coupled suspension in the industry that allows you to control transfer but yet maintain full front arm travel. That's the big plus with that suspension, is how it slides in the front arm as it couples up in the rear and maintains the front arm travel, but yet still gives you good cornering.
ZR suspension systems employ a variety of shocks, depending on the ride package, starting with Arctic Cat IFP shocks.
These are internally floating piston design, meaning that it's an aluminum body. And the value of that is that it's a higher end rebuildable shock, so very long lasting, but after you get 4,000 or 5,000 miles on a sled, it's nice to be able to take your shocks and get them rebuilt.
Fox Zero RC shocks are featured in the front suspension of SnowPro models.
The Fox Zero 1.5 RC. This gives you some adjustability with rebound and bleed adjust, but what it does is actually controls the compression and rebound. So if you want to turn it up, it stiffens the shock, and if you turn it down, it makes it a little softer package. So it gives that customer a little more options for the actual calibration of the shock itself.
Multiple versions of Fox Zero QS3 adjustable shocks come standard on limited and exclusive factory spring models.
The simplicity of it is what's going to really make the customer happy. He's going to be able to go down, look at his shock, know exactly where it's at, and be able to move it to either a softer, stiffer setting. Some shocks come with a hand knob, but you don't know where you're at in the 24-click range, so it's going to allow them to make a lot easier, quicker adjustment on the trail and be able to go back to that setting and visually know where they're at when they hop off to make the adjustment. The team-driven clutch is something that we've been running on the racetrack for the last 10 years. Very proven design. They're well known in the transmission clutch industry.
We've seen great success on the racetrack with the team clutch, and now being able to put it in our consumer sleds is very exciting to me because it's a very reputable, very durable, lightweight clutch.
This is about competition, about winning, about leaning into performance and riding like never before.